first in HD. This is 13 Eyewitness News Tonight.
The fact that any university would think it's appropriate to spend money to party and wine and dine is unacceptable.
From the state capitol tonight, criticism about the wining and dining deans of the University of Houston. Good evening, I'm Gina Gaston.
And I'm Eric Barajas in for Dave Ward tonight. More bills, exotic travel, and dinners which most people could never afford, all paid for with student tuition money.
13 Undercover's Wayne Dolcefino is back tonight with his latest exclusive.
Tonight, we'll go sightseeing because you might want to know how some of that student loan money you had to borrow has been spent and how a big university keeps lousy records. This is the Taj Mahal. There's no more famous tourist attraction in all of India.
Have you ever seen the Taj Mahal?
No, I've never gotten anyone to pay for a trip to India. Tuition money paid for Antel and 6 other UH officials to travel to India to explore educational exchanges and a possible UH facility.
Things would have to evolve much further than they are now to warrant having a campus.
But they took time out to sightsee. Tour guide records show the 11-day trip included sightseeing in 3 cities during 3 days, including a trip to the Taj Mahal.
Well, it takes a half a day to get there.
That meant thousands in travel and hotel bills. How did the sightseeing help kids here in Houston?
The Taj Mahal is something that somebody wants to be conversant in the history and culture of India. It's something that you should know about. That's all.
Dean William Fitzgibbon went to India about the same time to recruit graduate students. His airfare 4 times as much as his colleagues. But business class usually is. His wife was going too, but UH doesn't pay for her airfare. But there was a pre-trip dinner the couple had with a Houston Chamber official to prepare for the trip, complete with filet mignon, vodka, martinis, wine. You got to get ready for a road trip.
What are we going to do? Road trip.
You know how much U of H Central Campus spent just on foreign travel last year?
Well, out with it.
More than $1 million.
Oh, boy, is this great.
UH is now reviewing travel policies because of lax documentation, like this 8-day trip to New Delhi. The only UH travel records provided list a meeting with one official. There's no way of knowing what else the dean did.
I'm not joking. This is my job.
But we're going to be responding to some of those issues.
It's outrageous. I mean, the kinds of things that they teach their own students about careful accounting principles, about accountability, about being able to justify the work you do in the workplace are not applying to the upper-level management of the university.
So our documentation has been lax, and that's being corrected.
Add the foreign travel, the business meals, and the liquor account, and now you know where millions of students' tuition money has gone.
I think it is a sense of entitlement or elitism.
Under state law, college deans are no better than any other state employee. Their meal limit, $36.
This is a state university.
Right, but not all the money that we spend comes from the state.
Now wait a minute. So U of H makes its own rules, tripling the dean's per diem to $100 a person. $200 if you bring the wife along for a business meal, because they're using the kids' money. And it's hard to find an administrator's meal that doesn't include alcohol. You've been so good to me.
Universities have to remember that they have customers, and those customers are students and parents.
We're looking at that. We're going to sort of fine-tune that, build on that.
So you make it smaller.
Well, I don't know if we're going to make it smaller.
And if the dinner bill is more than $100 a person, well, the deans usually use money donated to the university.
The fact that any university would think it's appropriate to spend money to party and wine and dine is unacceptable.
Dean Fitzgibbons did refund the university $25 for a dinner at Smith & Walensky with an advisory board member. Of course, dinner for 2 cost $275, more than $100 just for the alcohol.
We don't want to just stop people from entertaining because a lot of what we have to do to compete in our marketplace is to entertain.
These are the kinds of tests you ought to be asking for every expenditure at a university. What's it doing for the kid? What's it doing for the athlete? What's it doing for the research that we're doing? Not, is it going to help me get my spouse to a fancy dinner?
Cut the crap. Give me a drink.
Late today, the chancellor told us by email that U of H is going to strengthen and clarify its travel policy and require better documents. Tomorrow, big screen TVs, interior designs, housekeepers, and the mansion the chancellor has to live with. Wayne Dolcefino, 13, Undercover.